Hi there guys, today we're going to be ranking Hello Neighbor ripoff games of how good or bad they are, so let's get started. So first we have Sponge Neighbor Escape 3D, which I guess I'll put in the bad section, because it's kind of bad. Now we have Stickman Neighbor Scary Secret, which this one goes in the good section, I guess. It's kind of good. I mean, it's at least a different game than all the other games. Like, all the other games are just, like, the same tasks. Like, burning your car and stealing your money and the same exact thing, but this one's actually different. So now we have the Baldi Neighbor one, which I'm gonna put in the bad section, maybe? I guess I'll put it in the bad section. I mean, it is a pretty bad one. The guy in the game is supposed to be Baldi, but he looks nothing like him. So now we have this one called something like Hello Kidnapper Neighbor, and I'm gonna put it in the bad section. It's pretty bad. Now we have Alien Grandpa Escape, which, I'm gonna put it in the okay section. I guess it's okay. And also, I know it doesn't have the word neighbor in it, but it's pretty much the same thing as a Hello Neighbor ripoff game. You get chased and stuff. And now we have Zoo Neighbor Escape, which, I mean, I guess I'll put in good. I mean, it's kind of good, but kind of bad at the same time. It has a pretty big map, which makes it cool, and it has moving animals, which also makes it cool, but it's not that good still. Next, we have this piggy one, which I'm going to put in the bad section. I mean, it's not very good. The graphics in it aren't good and stuff. I just don't really think it's that good, so I'm going to put it in the bad section. Next, we have Catch the Neighbor Alpha game, which I'm going to put in the trash section, because there's literally nothing you can do in it. All there is to do in it is just fly away from the neighbor. That's literally it. There's nothing else to do. Nuclear City Neighbor Escape gets a okay, I guess, because, I mean, it's pretty cool, but it's a copy of another game still, which still doesn't really make it good. Cowboy Neighbor goes in the bad section because it's pretty bad. It's a very short game, which doesn't really make it fun. There's not a lot to do in it. The Hello Crazy Scientist Neighbor one goes in the trash section because it is very glitchy and bad. Next, we have the Piggy one, which I'm going to put in the bad section. It's pretty bad, and this one is very short too. There's also not a lot to do in this one. And they also just use text-to-speech voices for the characters, which also made it pretty bad. Next, we have this one, which is a ripoff of Ice Cream, so I'm going to put it in the trash section. It's very bad and glitchy, and it's also a ripoff of Ice Cream. They ripped off one of the most good Hello Neighbor ripoff games ever. Clown Neighbor Escape is gonna go in the bad section. It is not very good. And it also is a very short game, which also makes it kind of boring. Again, there's not a lot of stuff to do in that one either. Alien Neighbor Everyone Escape goes in the okay section, I guess. It's okay, but it's still pretty bad. So next we have this one, which I guess I'll put in the okay section. It's still a very short one, though, which still makes it very boring. Angry Neighbor of Fate. This one goes in the trash section because it's very glitchy, and it's also a ripoff of Angry Neighbor, which is a ripoff of Hello Neighbor. It's like a double ripoff, basically. Plague Doctor Neighbor Scary Nun and Grim Escape. I guess it goes in the okay section. It's still really bad, but I guess I'll put it in the okay section anyways. It is pretty cool that it has a big castle, but it's still really bad. Evil Bunny Neighbor Escape. I guess it will go in the bad section, I guess, because, I mean, it's still really not that good. It's also a copy of Neighbor Sponge Scary Secret. Next, we have Riddle of Spy Boy, which I'm going to put in the trash section. This one is also not very good. It's also using the houses that are also used in other games. It's also too short. Sonic Breaks Jail, Friends Prison Escape. I'm going to put it in the okay section, I guess. It's okay, but it's still not very good. It's also very, very weird, and it is a ripoff of Sonic. This Baldi one goes in the bad section, I guess. I don't really know. Okay section, I guess. And finally, Clown Brothers Neighbor Escape goes in the trash section. It goes in the trash section because it's a stupid copy of another one, and only change is they just put two clowns.